Good evening, this is Mustafa Hooten live from Rutgers University for Rumble in the Raritan, Week 2. Tonight we have the National Showcase Matchup of the Week. St.Joes Prep out of Philadelphia is taking on St. John's College of Washington, D.C. Tonight we have Tyler Conrad of St.Joes of Philly. He's going to be doing the broadcast, so, show him some love, give him your undivided attention. We're gonna go to commercial break and we'll be back for the start of the game. Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You're gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
God.
Hands up, Jack. Understood. Took him and defeated him.
Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Go into the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years.
Here are the St. John's College Cadets.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rumble on the Raritan. I'm going to be your play-by-play announcer tonight, Tyler Conrad, as we watch the St. John's College Cadets come out, break out on the field. The announcer said previously they are #3 in the nation, taking on the Hawks of St.Joes Prep, who wait to come out of their side of the tunnel. They're currently ranked 14th in the nation from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, led by first-year head coach Tim Roken. Here come walk and trot out the St.Joes Prep Hawks. Hawks coming off a devastating loss last week in Marietta, Georgia, to the highly talented Marietta team, who's currently ranked #7 in the nation now. And now St.Joes Prep looks to rebalance their schedule, reboot their roster, and take on the win. Now some of the key matchup for this game is going to be wide receiver Rakim Jarrett on St. John's and cornerback Keenan Nelson Jr. for the Hawks. Nelson Jr. held Arik Gilbert last week to 177 yards and only 1 touchdown. A season low for Gilbert as he's a 5-star athlete. But like Marietta, St. John's College is one of the most talented teams on the nation. As captains Rakim Jarrett will go on the field. And now we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Sports, the #1 live stream for high school sports.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You're gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
God.
Hands up, Jack. Understood. Took him and defeated him.
Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Thank you.
And welcome back to D1 Media Pro, the #1 live streaming service for elite high school sports. And now, right after the national anthem, we're going to wait for the coin toss. See who's going to get the ball first. But as I was saying before we cut off to commercial, one of the key matchups is going to be #1 Rakim Jarrett, against number 26 Keenan Nelson Jr. Nelson Jr. held the Marietta, Georgia Blue Devils to under 180 yards, which is a season low for Gilbert. And he did a pretty good job. Unfortunately, Marietta came out with the win 21-17 on a heartbreaking catch from the Marietta wide receiving corps, which is arguably the best in the nation. And now the captains for St. John's, #1 Rakim Jarrett, #23 Mikhail M.J. Sherman, and #58 Tazi Johnson. And now for the Hawks, the captains that are going out to the midfield is #10 Liam Johnson, #74 Casey Stevenson, obviously #3 Colby Burrell, #10 Liam Johnson, and big storyline today is #1 Anthony Wrightley is out with a back injury. So Xavier Atkins is going to be playing cornerback, the junior from Delco, moving David Watson to safety for Wrightley. We'll see how that scheme works out as we await the coin toss. And make sure to stay tuned tomorrow for the games. At 12 p.m., we have Abraham Lincoln from New York taking on Archbishop Stepanak, also from New York. At 3:30 p.m., right after that, we have Union, New Jersey taking on Curtis, New York. And to complete the triple header, we have Montclair, New Jersey taking on West Orange, New Jersey. And before we await kickoff, we're going to thank Tom McGuire, who is the director for Rumble on the Raritan, for making everything possible for D1 Media Pro. Our streaming, we have perfect view of the Rutgers sideline, as you guys can see on the screen, as we await coin toss with around 2 minutes left into the game. And now as we await kickoff, watch both teams shake hands. And the big storyline is going to be Anthony Wrightley, the junior strong safety, moved from wide receiver to safety. And that was a big move for Wrightley, as he was a big wide receiver, around 6'3", 220. Unfortunately, ran around a 4.9, 5.0 40-yard dash. So because of that, they moved him to safety. He's been phenomenal for the Hawks. But as I've said previously, unfortunately, he's going to be out with a back injury, and he is questionable next week for IMG Academy. MJ Sherman also playing off the edge this game, usually at outside linebacker. Today he's playing off the defensive line with Tazi Johnson, co-captain #8 Trey Williams, the big Clemson commit in the middle, and #19 Greg Hudgens. St. John's College is stacked at defensive line, and their front seven is very scary. For the Hawks, one key of the game is definitely going to be protecting quarterback Kyle McCord. Last week, unfortunately, they couldn't do it, as #71 on Marietta, Georgia, BJ Ojulari, committed to Tennessee, had 11 tackles on the Hawks, and that's really what caused them to shut down, and unfortunately, McCord was just pressured way too much. And for St. John's College, just going to have to get the run game as early as possible. They have 3 great running backs, #3 Colby McDonald, #6 the Hawks. And that is exactly what we were talking about. Malik Cooper breaks out in the slot. McCord hits him deep, and that's what I was saying. Malik Cooper and Kyle McCord, that connection. Cooper was the backup QB last year for McCord. Fit perfectly in the slot receiver. And now Antonio Chad is going to try to put this extra point through. Now Chada held by the touchdown receiver Malik Cooper. Cooper waiting for the snap. Snap is good, and PAT is also good. That'll make it 7-0 Hawks. And what looked to be coming up on a 4th down for the Hawks, McCord makes magic happen again. Hits Malik Cooper around the Cadets' 40-yard line, and all he sees is green in front of him, takes it in the end zone for 6. Malik Cooper, a very interesting talented slot receiver, started at back QB, was a starting QB for the freshman team, then moved to backup QB, obviously because sensation Ohio State commit Kyle McCord made some magic happen his sophomore year, sat the bench his freshman year against QB Marquez McCray, who is currently at Sacred Heart University. Learned the ropes, learned them perfectly as he had an undefeated perfect season last year, 13-0 the Hawks, 6A state champions. Just took his first loss as a starter last week against Marietta, Georgia. And now the Hawks are going to look to capitalize as Chada awaits kickoff. Again, we want to thank Tom McGuire for making all of this possible, the director for Rumble on the Raritan. And now St. John's College looks to capitalize on their first offensive possession. Hawks score relatively quickly, 34 seconds into the ballgame. As Chada awaits the kick, it's a low kick. Rolls a little bit. It's going to be bumped up to the 10-yard line. Hawks try to take him, slits the 2, but gets tackled at the 20-yard line.
Brought down by Noah Click.
And now for the Hawks, they're going to get their first defensive stand. A little bit of question in the safety position as Xavier Atkins is playing cornerback, and David Watson will start at safety. St. John's College coached by Joe Casamento. It'll be his 4th season. And Rakim Jarrett, committed to LSU, the 5-star receiver, is going to look to make his mark along with arguably the most talented running backs in the nation. Soljay Maeva, under center, 4 wide, 1 in the back. He's going to hand it off to number 5, Jamar Curtis. And Curtis is shut down by Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Excuse me, that's going to be Colby McDonald. And McDonald's going to be taken down at around the 18-yard line. That'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 on the 18.
They started messing up by taking down distance last year.
Now 2nd and 12 for the Hawks. A loss of 2. Now St. John's College taking it under center. Seeing what they got. Hawks rush for. Maeva trying to get outside the pocket. Tosses it over to number 1, Rakim Jarrett. And Jarrett picks up 7 yards. Now it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Cadets. A huge 3rd down for the Hawks and also a huge 3rd down for the Cadets. Because if you're the Cadets, you do not want to go scoreless on your first offensive drive, especially when you gave up a touchdown with only 34 seconds in the game. Hawks are envying their first win of the season. They're hungry and they're going to do anything it takes, even with senior captain Anthony Retley out. Hawks 4 on the line. Kim Jarrett in motion. Now McDonald's going to see what he got, and it's shut down by number 3, Julian Talley. He's going to lose a yard on that. That'll bring up 4th and 5 and a huge stop for the Hawks as they look to take a double-digit lead in this ballgame. And even though the Hawks are down 1 safety, Julian Talley looks sharp. Unfortunately, last game there was a little bit of miscommunication in the end zone for that final touchdown drive. As now we await for Daniel Reyes to kick it off and punt it to Samir Hagans, who's back around the 40. Hawks up 7-0, 9:28 left in the first quarter. Punt is up, a pretty decent punt, and Hagans is going to call the fair catch it at around the 38-yard line. And now the Hawks will take over and try to capitalize on a huge defensive stop. Off that 74-yard touchdown pass from McCord, the Hawks are going to look to repeat, go up 14 against a very talented St. John's College cadet team. And an interesting thing about this is that the Hawks, even though they're talented, they don't really recruit. I mean, they recruit in the sense of the tri-state area, but other than that, they're not getting guys from Texas, guys from California, guys from Florida. And Samir Hagens getting a little jousty there. Hagens in motion. And now it looks like a bit of miscommunication. So the Hawks are going to call their first timeout of the drive. And we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live streaming for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the first quarter when we come back.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You're gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
Hey, but understand. Raritan, took him and decreed
Horton. Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
Conversation with them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they are getting.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium at Rutgers University as the Hawks take a quick lead, 7-0, 9:20 left in the first quarter of play. McCord under center. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Hand it off to Burrell up the middle. Takes a cut on the left side and tries to fight for extra yards. Gain around 3 on the play. Now they'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Hawks. Colby Burrell was a monster last game. Had over 20 carries for around 115 yards last game. Averaging around 5 yards per carry, which is great for Burrell. Also running backs Josh Barlow and Brahim Barr got a bit of touches, but when it came crunch time in the game, Burrell was getting most of the touches. Obviously, the Hawks have produced great running backs like DeAndre Swift. And Kyle McCord strikes over the middle. It's going to be caught by Marvin Harrison at the 46-yard line. And that'll be in cadet territory. So now McCord trying to lead this Hawks offense to a 14-0 lead, and which would be a huge first quarter for the Hawks. Clark, Hagens, and Harrison, the 3 receivers out wide. Dan Stevenson, an extra blocker up the middle, and Burrell in the backfield with McCord in shotgun. McCord hands it off to Burrell. Burrell takes up the left side and gets stuffed by Trey Williams. He will gain probably around half a yard. And it will remain 2nd and 10.
And Johnson on the stop. 2nd and 10.
MJ Sherman, the future Georgia commit, is a dog off the edge and an outside linebacker. It'll be interesting to see where Georgia plays him as now. Hawks have all 3 receivers on the right side. Watch out for the wide receiver screen here to Samir Hagens. As now press coverage comes from St.Joes College. They're going to hand it off to Burrell to the right side. Burrell gets an edge, finds a hole, and is going to be tackled at around the 41.5-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd and short for the Hawks. It'll be actually 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 from the 39.
So now it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 39-yard line. Third and 3 with 7:26 left for the Hawks. Reese Clark on the right side, Marvin Harrison on the left, and they're blocking 7. So an interesting set for the Hawks as they may look for Dan Stevenson. And now there's a flag on the play. And it looks like it might be against the Hawks for a false start. And it is a false start against the Hawks. So that'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Hawks. Now it'll be moved back to the St. John's College 44-yard line as now McCord is with 5 wide. No running back in and also no tight end, so they're blocking 5 wide. And now McCord in shotgun looking for plays from first-year head coach Tim Roken. Hagens and Harrison in motion. 3 to his right, 2 to his left. They're going to try to go over the middle to Burrell. That's going to be incomplete and bring up a 4th down and 8. And now an interesting call for the Hawks as they are in 4-down territory, as they are in cadet territory, but they're going to use Xavier Adkins. They're going to punt this ball away as number 5, Jamar Curtis, is back for the Cadets. Curtis, an elite running back, has offers from all around the nation. He's 5'6", 170, but he is a hell of a player for the Cadets. Punt goes all the way back to the 5, a great punt from Atkins. And now it's going to be a flag on the play, so there's going to be a block in the back, so this is going to come back. And unfortunately for the Cadets, they're up to the races. All he sees is green, and unfortunately for the Cadets, the fans obviously don't know, it's going to be coming back because the illegal block in the back. And there it's going to be a flag on the play, as we said, with 6:25 remaining. And unfortunately for the Cadets, a huge break for the Hawks as they could not get around number 5, Jamar Curtis. And the flag is confirmed. Illegal block in the back on the receiving team. And it'll still be the first down for the Cadets, but unfortunately, the penalty was around the 4-yard line. So that is not great field position for the Cadets, as they will be around the 2-yard line to start out this drive. And what looked to be a breakaway stun off for Curtis ends up being an unfortunate block in the back. But if we're being honest, if that block in the back didn't happen, he's most likely being tackled around the 5-yard line. And now they're going to place the ball actually on the 1-yard line. Looks like around the 1.5, very generous spot for the Hawk defense. And they are going to look to snap it out of the end zone. Now Maevas, they try to run it up the gut, and they're going to be stuffed by Blake Romano and Anthony Lenahan. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. cut up the middle and came up with the tackle there as Blake Romano and Anthony Lenahan did a great job distracting the O-line. Now the ball is on the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now 2nd and 9, 5:55 left in the first quarter. A great first drive for the Hawks. Unfortunately, they had to punt it away. And now the Cadets are going to snap it outside the end zone. They're looking for something to fumble the end zone. And it looks like the Hawks are on it. It's going to be touchdown Hawks. There's no sign from the refs yet, but it looks like it's going to be a touchdown for the Hawks. A huge 13-0 lead for the Hawks with 5:42 left. And Blake Romano is going to be credited for that touchdown. The Methacton native, number 11, the Leo for the Hawks, is going to come up with a huge touchdown for the Hawks and a very huge defensive stop, as this is the start they wanted against Marietta, Georgia, and they're playing a lot better than they were last week. Now the Hawks with a huge start as Chada tries to put the extra point through. It's going to be 14-0 if he can do so. And it just really looks like the Cadets are a little nervous against the Hawks, which is very, very surprising, as the PAT is up and good for Chada. That'll extend the lead to 14-0. And as we await kickoff, we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the first quarter when we come back.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Nuka, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even pressing curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium as the Hawks just recovered a fumble in the end zone if you missed it. D lineman Blake Romano off the edge came up huge for the Hawks. And now Chada is going to kick off for the Hawks. And now it looks like number 5, Jamar Curtis, is back for kickoff. Kick is now high. Curtis going to take it from the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback for the Cadets, so they're going to take it from the 20-yard line. And now the Cadets are going to look to answer This is going to be a huge drive for the Cadets, because if the Cadets go down 21-0, they're going to be looking into trouble, because when the Hawks get hot, everyone knows when Kyle McCord gets hot, he just keeps getting hotter. And if Harrison gets in rhythm, it might be over early for the Cadets. Again, a big thanks to Tom McGuire, the director of Rumble on the Raritan, as it'll be 1st and 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cadets, as quarterback Sol J. Maeva, bit of a funky name there, but nevertheless, he's going to try to lead this Cadet offense and put some points on the board. Maeva hands off to Curtis. Curtis makes a huge cut, and McDonald, and it looks like they fumbled again, and it looks like the Hawks have it. And they do. The refs are signaling it, and the Hawks defense has come up huge. They first get a stop, then a recovery in the end zone. But now it's looking like they flipped the call, and the Hawks defenders are not happy about that. Wow. And on the instant replay, it clearly shows that the ball came out. As the refs are just looking to keep going, it looks like no replay review is being, and now the refs are going to stop the game. And very, very confusing from the refs. As unfortunately for the Hawks, a huge break for the Cadets, as they're not going to look at the replay monitor, but unfortunately we can't show you the replay monitor, but it clearly showed that his knee was not down before the fumble, and McDonald clearly fumbled, but nevertheless, McDonald's going to take it to the right side, going to get tackled by a cluster of Hawks, as he's going to get about 1 yard, and that'll bring up 3rd down and around 3. 3rd and 2, rather. Clock's a little messed up, but there's 5:02 left in the first quarter.
3rd and 2 on the 28.
It's 3rd and 2 on the Cadet 28. Now the Cadets looking a little shaky to open up this first quarter. 4:48 left. They hope to strike some pride here and strike gold, as the Hawks look to be rushing 5 as they do. And there's going to be a flag. It looks like there's going to be either an encroachment or a false start. And there's going to be a delay of game on the Cadets, so that's going to move them back 5 yards. So it went from a 3rd and 2 all the way to a 3rd and 7. And now what looks like an easy run is going to have to be a pass from the Cadets. And their pass game has not been great. Trey Doyle is going to check into the game, as he's usually in for the run coverage. So an interesting play call from defensive coordinator Coach Stratz. Now 4:27 left in the first quarter. Maev under center. He tries to go deep to Jarrett, and Jarrett just drops it out of his hands. A little great coverage by Xavier Atkins. And unfortunately for the Cadets, it's going to bring up another 4th down. Xavier Atkins, great coverage on Jarrett. Jarrett had it right in his hands, unfortunately popped out. And that'll bring up a 4th and 7 for the Cadets. So the Hawks can capitalize again, try to go up 3 possessions. And worst case scenario for the Hawks, they just punt it back, still up 14-0. But we'll see if McCord can work some magic. Higgins around the Hawk 45 as he awaits the punt. And the punt is away. It's a short punt, it's going to bounce. Higgins telling all the Hawks to get away. A friendly bounce for the Cadets. And it's going to be fielded at the Cadet 41. So pretty decent field position for Kyle McCord in this St. Joe's Prep Hawk offense.
Down on the 41.
And as I said, one key matchup for this game is going to be Rakim Jarrett and number 18 Xavier Atkins. Usually you're going to see Keenan Nelson Jr. on those bigger receivers, but Rakim Jarrett is only 6 foot and he's a 5-star. So I mean, it clearly shows you how talented he is. Jarrett is 2nd in DC, only behind his teammate Mikhail Sherman. He held offers from Tennessee, Alabama, Clemson, Florida, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Virginia, Virginia Tech, and many more colleges. He's 6 foot, 280 pounds, and he's projected 2nd to 3rd round talent. Now the Hawks under center are going to try to work some more magic. McCord under center, seeing what he's got. Tries to hit Harrison on the slant route, incomplete. Mordecai McDaniel with some great defensive coverage. Now they'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Hawks.
Second and 10.
Now that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. And one problem for the Hawks is they couldn't get it started against Marietta. Fortunately for the Hawks, they're up 14-0. Their defense is going big, and McCord had that one big throw to Malik Cooper. Hits Samir Hagens on the left sideline, and Hagens it's around a 7-yard gain. That'll be 3rd and 4 for the Hawks.
Jalen Virgil on the stop.
Jalen Virgil on the stop. St. John's College getting hype on the sideline, jumping up. And that's one thing you see from some high schools is their sideline gets pretty crazy on 3rd and 4th downs. Now Hawks seeing what they're trying to do. Malik Cooper, Maurice Clark, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Samir Hagens are the receivers. Burrell the back. McCord under center. McCord takes a snap, seeing what he's got. They rush 4, and Malik Cooper taking up the right sideline, stepping out of bounds, avoiding the hit. And Malik Cooper, what a start to the game. 2 huge catches on 3rd down. That'll put the Hawks to the Cadet 29-yard line. He'll be brought down by Overton as he steps out of bounds. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks, 3:21 left, as the Hawks try to reclaim a 3-touchdown lead over a very talented St. John College defense. Trey Williams, the Clemson commit, top 40 in the nation, has failed to show his defensive ability, but now McCord under center, hits Hagens under the middle, and now Hagens will take it all the way to the 15-yard line. And it'll be another St. Joe's Prep Hawk first down.
Reception made by Hagens.
Samir Hagens and Malik Cooper, a very interesting set for the Hawks, as they really run 2 slot receivers. They run Samir Hagens and they also run Malik Cooper. Malik Cooper not that big as height-wise. That'll be 1st down and 10. They're going to run a jet sweep to Samir Hagens. Hagens going to take it to the right sideline, trying to make something happen, but gets hammered by number 8 Trey Williams, the Clemson commit.
That's a big boy right there, man.
A very big boy committed to Clemson. That'll be 2nd and 11, a 1-yard loss. And even though Trey Williams is a bit big, he's around 325 pounds, he's a pretty fast kid. And Williams.
Kids like that, baby, stop playing football.
And now, as Trey Williams in this defense try to get another stop on 2nd and 11. Maurice Clark to his right, Burrell backfield. They're going to hand it off to Burrell to the left side. Burrell takes it to the edge, tries to rush something, only gets around 2 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Hawks. So 2:12 left. It's going to be 3rd and 8. I'm going to be more specific. MJ Sherman with a huge tackle. There'll be a gain of 2 for Burrell. Bring up right around 2 minutes left. Now it'll be a 3rd and 8 for the Hawks. A huge possession. Worst case scenario, take a field goal. Hopefully Chada makes it. You go up 17-0. But as you know, the Hawks and every team in the nation is going to go for that touchdown. Hawks are on 4 wide, 2 slots. Clark and Harrison out wide. Going to get rushed. Tries to throw it over the middle. Incomplete. Great pass coverage by number 20, Mordecai McDaniel. But there's going to be a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
And it looks like there's going to be a penalty. And it looks like it's going to be on the Cadets of St. John's College. So this might bail the Hawks offense out. Looks like there's a lot of contact over the middle as the Hawks fans are cheering as we await the call. And one big advantage for the Hawks is it's only an hour and 30-minute drive. And it's going to be holding on the defense.
Still 3rd down.
It'll still be 3rd down, but it'll be 3rd down and 2. Excuse me, it'll be 3rd and 2. So now 3rd and 2 for the Hawks, a minute 40 left. They're in their power formation, 3 receivers to his right. Maurice Clark over the middle as he gets shoved by Mordecai McDaniel. And Mordecai McDaniel's been doing a really great job guarding Maurice Clark and taking down Harrison, other than that one catch early in the game. And now Hawks a big decision. McCord's still on the field, 4th and 2. They're going to bring out their power formation with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Liam Johnston on the field with Burrell in the backfield. They're going to be blocking 9. They did this last week against Marietta. Unfortunately, it did not work out for the Hawks. So we'll see how the blocking is for the Hawks. Kyle hands it off to Burrell. Burrell trying to get something. And it looks like it's going to be close. Hawks are saying they got it. Cadets saying they got the stop. And they're saying they got stopped on the 5, so that would bring up a first down for the Hawks if the spot is correct on the 5-yard line. It looks like Burrell just barely got an inch on that. And the Hawks pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and 5, 1st and goal for the Hawks as they try to go up 21 points already in the first quarter. A very hot start from McCord in this Hawk offense. And head coach Tim Roken, unfortunate first game, a huge second game. They're going to have to win this one if they want to stay nationally ranked. You cannot start the season 0-2, even though they have arguably the hardest schedule in the nation. That'll be 1st and goal. Stevenson in, Hagan's in the slot, and Harrison out wide. McCord taking it, throwing a fade route to Harrison Jr. He's wide open, touchdown Hawks. And Harrison Jr. will take his first touchdown of his junior campaign. Trying to pick up some more offers. He's got 17 on the day. That'll put the Hawks up 20-0 with 1:06 left. And the Hawks are off to a very hot start. And it's very unusual you see such a highly ranked team like St. John's, the number 3 team in the nation, just give out like this. It's 20-0. It's still anybody's game. It's very early. Minute 6 left still in the first quarter. And Mikhail Sherman, MJ Sherman, we just really haven't seen a lot of him. He's a Georgia commit. He's held offers from Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Florida State, Michigan, you name it. He's been around the block. He tore his ACL his junior year, unfortunately. The PAT is up and good. That'll increase the lead to 21-0. And we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Sports. D1 Media Pro, excuse me, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even pressing curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium as the Hawks of St.Joes Prep are taking on the Cadets of St. John's College as Antonio Chata awaits the kickoff for the Hawks. Still in the first quarter, a minute 6 left, and the Hawks are already up 21-0. The perfect start for the Hawks as St. John's College looked like obviously the better ranked team with more talent, but the Hawks coaching staff, play calling, just really showing out. And Chata's going to kick it away. A beautiful kick. Looks going to go out of the end zone. Another touchback. Very impressive kick from Chata. That's going to go outside the end zone, and that'll be a touchback for Chata. And now for the Hawks, they're going to try to get another stop on defense and go up either 24 or 28, which would be very impressive for the Hawks, taking on the number 3 team in the nation. And this is what you get from the Hawks. Unfortunately, in Marietta, Georgia, they started off slow, but you can definitely see that they've been working on things in practice. They've been sharpening their skills, and iron sharpens iron. And when you play a straight team like Marietta, Georgia, who's going to be good, St. John's College, they could definitely use some magic here. As they're going to look, and he gets slammed by number 52, Giambi Nesbitt. Giambi Nesbitt, the rising junior, doesn't get a lot of playing time, kind of splits time with Andrew Bailey, but when he gets in there, he is a force, and that'll bring up 2nd and 14.
On the 16-yard line.
So 2nd and 14 for the Hawks. The clock is a bit off. There's 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Maeva under shotgun. Gonna see what he's got, and there's going to be another flag on the play. What looks to be a false start from St. John's College. That's going to move him back 5 yards. And it will be a false start. That'll bring up 2nd and 19. A very crucial penalty for the Cadets as they're in need of points.
2nd and 19.
Now 22 seconds. Second and 19 from the 11-yard line. The Cadets are going to see what they do. Play action passer going for Jarrett over top, and is overthrown from Maeva. It's going to stop the clock with around 3 seconds left. So the Cadets are going to have 3 seconds to work with. They're going to have 3 seconds to work with. The ball on the 11 is going to be 3rd and 19, and which will most likely be the last snap of this first quarter. After the first quarter, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be right back for the second quarter of action. 3 seconds left. Ball on the 11, 3rd down and 19. Hawks are going to try to get a huge defensive stop. As if they can get the ball back and try to go up 28-0, that would be huge for St. John's. As it looks like there was a bit of miscommunication, so it's going to be a timeout for St. John's College.
Timeout. St. John's. First charge. Timeout.
A bit of confusion for St. John's, and with only 2 seconds left, we're going to keep it here on D1 Media Pro. The Hawks have been a phenomenal team. We really thought, at least in the media booth, that St. John's College was going to put up a fight in the first quarter. They're 2-0. They had 2 great games before this, and they might have a little bit of jet lag, even though the ride is probably only around 5-6 hours from Washington, D.C. They did drive up here. Luckily for the Hawks, it's only around an hour and 30 minutes from their campus on 17th and Girard. Went up right after school, and one thing for the Hawks that has been working well is the RPO action, which is they can either run it with Burrell or throw it to either Harrison or Malik Cooper. Malik Cooper's had a huge game. He has 2 catches. Blake Romano, his twin is at Mathacan, but Blake Romano, the Leo, picked up a huge touchdown in the end zone for the Hawks defense, and then Cooper and Harrison both have a touchdown. So 3 seconds left for the Cadets. 3rd down and 19 for Maeva. Maeva's going to see what he's got. Going to look over on the right sideline. It is caught. He's taken down by Aiden Nash. A great tackle. It's going to be caught by DJ Lincoln. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. So we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for the start of the second quarter when we get back.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium as #3 St. John's College taking on #14 St. John's Hawks up 21-0 at the start of the second quarter. And now the Cadets are going to look to punt. Hagens takes it from around the 40, around the 39, backpedals a little bit, takes it over to the right edge. Hagen gets a bit of a hold. There's going to be another flag, 2 flags actually on the play, as Hagens gets it all the way up to the Hawks 39. And all 3 refs actually throw a penalty flag as we await the call. And St. John's College is going to need something to go their way, as they are down 21-0 in the second quarter, the start of the second quarter. A huge start, very huge start for Kyle McCord. He's never looked more poised in his high school career, doing a great job really controlling the offense, and the defense has stepped up a lot from last week. Even though Marietta's receiving corps was a bit more talented, as now we're going to get the call from the refs.
We had 2 fouls on red. Block in the back.
They're going to be both on St. Joe's Prep. The block in the back is going to be declined. Defenseless player is going to be accepted. It's going to be 15 yards from the end of the run, and it'll be first down for the Hawks. So that's kind of a big blow for the Hawks. They had pretty good field position at around the 39-yard line, but that pushing them 15 yards back, and they're going to be at around now the 23-yard line. So they were at the 38, now they're at the 23. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. They're trying to look to scramble for something. And they're going to get stuffed by the Cadets. And the Cale Sherman finally with a huge play
On the stop.
for the Cadets, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. They're going to try to get something to go. Hawks up 21-0. Handed off to Burrell. Excuse me, that's going to be, looks like to be Barlow on the left side. He's going to pick up around 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And on the stop. 3rd and 8 from the 25.
Barlow, a very talented sophomore running back who's going to take the big stage when Burrell and Barr leave next year. So he's going to have a huge junior and season campaign. Nevertheless, contributes a lot to this Hawk offense. 10:40 left in the 2nd quarter. Hawks up 21-0. Ball's on around the 24-yard line. McCord looking deep. It's a great job escaping the pocket, and it's going to be intercepted by number 15, Jamel Overton. And an unfortunate play decision from Kyle McCord. And the Cadets get the break they need. An interception from Overton. The first turnover for the Hawks of the day. And now the Cadets will take over from the Hawk 28-yard line. Excuse me, it'll be the Hawk 36-yard line to be more exact. So on that 3rd and 8, McCord tried to do something. Unfortunately, did not work out in the favor of the Hawk. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Cadets as they try to put the first points on the board for their offense. Jamel Overton, one of the key cornerbacks for the Cadets, as now Maeva is going to look to hand it off to Littleton. Littleton, the big boy, rams Julian Talley. And Littleton is hyped. St. John's College is hyped, as he's going to be down at around the 18-yard line. So that'll bring up a 1st and 10. But there's going to be a flag on the play, and that one's going to come back. It's going to be holding on the Cadets.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
And again, the Cadets get a huge break. The big man, Antoine Littleton. So now that'll bring up 1st and 20. So 1st and 20 for the Cadets. Excuse me, 1st and 19, as the hold was 1 yard in. Now the Cadets 4 wide. Littleton still in the backfield. Flags and pass, looking to that left sideline. A little short throw from Maeva, and he's going to be down by Aiden Nash at the 39-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15 from the 41.
2nd and 15 from the Hawk 41. If they're going to want to get in field goal range, say they get to 4th and 1, that'll still be a 44-yard field goal, a pretty lengthy field goal for high school football. Now from the Hawk 36-yard line, play action pass goes right over the middle to number 14, Bryce Butler, the tight end. And now it's going to be 4th down, and now a controversial decision for the Cadets.
Brought down on the play by Trotter Jr.
Now a 3rd
That makes it
and 7.
from the 33.
And now if you're the Cadets, do you run the ball, try to get in field goal range? It's going to be a long field goal, but if you pass the ball, you're definitely not going to be in field goal range. So now we're going to await the play call and see what the Cadets decide to do. Maeva looking what he's got. Hits. And a huge hole for Bryce Butler, as Butler is going to be tackled at around the 14, 15-yard line. It'll be official spot at the 17. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Cadets. A huge break, as now they're definitely in field goal range. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 17 with 8:52 remaining. Now the Cadets, a bit of confusion as Tazi Johnson was in the game, as the Cadets are going to try to find their first points of the game. And they're going to toss it deep in the end zone. Jarrett tries, and great coverage.
Now this pass intended for Jarrett. Nelson Jr.
Keenan Nelson
coverage.
Jr., number 29, great coverage.
And 10.
And Rakeem Jarrett has been not a very huge impact player this game, which is very shocking. Nevertheless, Sol-Jay Maeva, 3-star QB, he's 9th in DC. He's committed to BYU. He did have offers from Michigan, Hawaii, Oregon, and Utah. So an interesting pick with BYU. 6 foot 195, runs a 4.6 40-yard dash, and has a 32-inch vertical. Very athletic quarterback Maeva is. They're going to run the option. Maeva tries to flip it, and he does. And strip tackled as number 3, Colby McDonald. Could have had a touchdown. And now there's going to be a player down on field, as it looks to be number 66, Damond Arter. As he gets up, he's up on the sideline though. So now it'll be first and goal, excuse me, for the Cadets. 8:30 left
For the Cadets.
in the first half, second quarter. And now for the Hawks, you just need to get a goal line stop. If you're the Cadets, you need to convert. 3 points is not going to be enough. 21-3, and then you're going to give the Hawks back. You need 6 here. Maeva hands it off to Littleton, and actually he's going to take it on the keeper.
Littleton got
And a great move by Sol-Jay Maeva. It's going to be a touchdown, Cadets. Great play call from the Cadets, and that will put the Cadets on the board finally with 8:22 left in the first half. And Sol-Jay Maeva showing his 4.6 speed off. And now the Cadets finally on the board. And they're going to look to try to come back in this game, as there's still 8:22 left in the first half and the whole second half. We are very early in this ball game, and nothing is guaranteed.
Fitzgerald to hold.
Daniel Reyes is going to look to put the extra point through. So it is up and good. So the Cadets will take a 7-0 lead, and we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the first half when we come back.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Nuka, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
All right, we back.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium, as the Cadets of St. John's College just put 7 points on the board. A great keeper from Sol-Jay Maeva, the BYU commit, showing off his speed. And Alvarez will kick it off. It'll be taken in the end zone from Cooper. That'll be a touchback, and the Hawks will take it from the 20.
touchdown.
And one thing we've seen is that even though Keenan Nelson Jr. only has one offer, and apparently it seems to be from Rutgers University, where the Hawks and the Cadets are playing right now, but nevertheless, Nelson Jr. is doing a great job shutting down Rakim Jarrett. Jarrett, a 5-star wide receiver from LSU. He's only 6', 208", which is very impressive. To be a 5-star at 6', 208", you need to require a lot of skill, and Jarrett has that. Unfortunately for the Cadets, they haven't really been able to use Jarrett as much as they would like to. A big thanks to Tom McGuire, the director for the Rumble of the Raritan, for making everything possible for D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. And Samir Hagans gets rocked by the pick man, number 15, Jamel Overton. Overton is playing a fantastic game for the Cadets.
Gain of 4 on the play.
With a gain of 4,
And 6.
it's going to be 2nd and 6. Now 2nd and 6 for the Hawks. Are going to try to put more points on the board, increase this lead. Now McCord hands it off to Burrell, and Burrell is shut down, and he gets out of it somehow. Burrell off the edge. There's going to be a flag, unfortunately, so it's most likely going to come back. But nevertheless, Burrell, a great rush to the 45-yard line as we await the flag.
Flag on the play.
Now it looks like it's going to be a block in the back on the offense, so that is going to come back, and an unfortunate break for the Hawks and a very huge break for the Cadets. As if you're the Cadets, you need a stop. 7:45 left. Fortunately for the Cadets, they get the ball back in the start of the second half. But as I was saying, the 5-star Rakeem Jarrett committed to LSU. A bit of a shock that he hasn't been a huge factor. And it is going to be a block in the back from the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So that'll bring up 2nd and 3. So the Hawks still gain a couple yards. They gain 3 yards, but unfortunately the block in the back is going to put them still in second down rather than first down from the 40-yard line of the Cadets. Now McCord with 4 wide, Burrell in the backfield. Hagens in motion. McCord goes over the middle to Malik Cooper. A great block from Colby Burrell as Hagens tries to... As Colby Burrell, a bit of a late hit on number 15, Jamel Overton. The refs are not softies though.
First and 10.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 42. As the Hawks are going to try to put more points on the board, increase this lead going into halftime, 7:30 left. 1st and 10 from the 42. Now McCord getting pressured, somehow escapes out of the pocket, slides down, and gains around 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
McCord on the keeper.
And Trey Williams, the Clemson commit, dove at Kyle McCord. Luckily McCord slid, but if McCord doesn't slide there, that could potentially be a fumble. The Hawks are waiting for the play call. They're going to try to repeat as 6A state champions down in Hershey. It'll be McCord's 2nd title if they win. And they'll try to make the three-peat in a couple of years, but nevertheless, Burrell up the middle as he somehow escapes. Take a move to the right. Another one. A huge run from Burrell. It'll be taken down at around the 44-yard line. And that'll bring up another Hawks first down.
That kid's hard to stop.
Colby Burrell, the Buffalo commit, even though he's only 5'9", he is a huge dude to deal with. One of the biggest 5'9" dudes I've ever seen in my life. And now St. John's College is going to take a timeout.
Timeout. St. John's.
And with that timeout, we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. And make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the first half of action when we come back.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
God.
Hey, understand. Took him and defeated him. Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Go into the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium at Rutgers University as the Hawks of St.Joes Prep are up 21-7 with 6:25 left in the first half. McCord fires across to Samir Hagens. It's going to be incomplete. And number 15, Jamel Overton, comes up huge again. Overton has been a huge cornerback, defensive back rather, for the Cadets. Don't have any notes on Overton, but he has had a fantastic game today. Has an interception off Kyle McCord on that 3rd and 8 play. Now Barlow in the backfield as Samir Hagens is going to try to look to pick up the first down. on the 2nd and 10.
McCord to Higgins.
And it looks like they're going to try to move the chains. They're not. Actually, they are. Excuse me. So that'll bring up another Hawks first down.
First and 10 from the 33.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 33, 6:03 left. Barlow still in the game for the Hawks. You have to wonder if Burrell may have gotten hurt on a play or they're just resting him a little bit for the red zone. Now Barlow carry up the middle, and he's going to be a bit slammed. He'll have a 1-yard rush. And that'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Hawks.
Brought down by Williams.
One player that
Second
from the
and
cadets that
9.
have been is really huge is Bryce Butler, the junior tight end. He's a 3-star. He's the 7th best player in Washington, D.C. for his class. 6'3", 225 pounds, shaped like Eric Gilbert from Marietta, Georgia. Unfortunately, he's not very as athletic as he is because obviously Eric Gilbert's a 5-star, but he still has offers from Kansas and Rutgers. Now McCord seeing what he's got, throws to Harrison on the left side, and a difficult drop for Marvin Harrison Jr. as it was on the money from McCord. And if you're Marvin Harrison, you just got to get on to the next one, forget that drop, and move on, as that'll bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Hawks. And they'll stop the clock, so there will be around 5:05. 5:05 from the Cadets, 32. So 49-yard field goal if they fail to complete this. McCord going deep, wide open Harrison. Harrison with the possession catch and gets down at the 12-yard line.
McCord to Harrison Jr. complete. Brought down on the
All the way
by
down to the
Gibson.
12-yard line. Brought down by Gibson. And you really have to credit the offensive line. They've been doing a great job. Matt Lombardi, the Tulane commit. Matt McGeary, the Colgate commit. Have been doing a great job. Casey Stevenson, obviously, the Howard commit. And the seniors have really been stepping up for the Hawks O-line. Now Burrell back in the game. McCord seeing what he's got. Throws to the end zone. A very dangerous pass from Overton, but great defense from Overton as he shuts down Samir Hagans, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Hawks.
Overton with the coverage.
Overton with coverage on the outside, and as I said, not a lot of notes on Overton, but nevertheless, he is a great player and been shutting down every Hawk receiver that he's guarded. I'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Hawks. Now McCord getting rushed, somehow slides outside the pocket, throws an easy flyer over to number 21, Noble House, and unfortunately it's incomplete, and that bring up 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. They're going to round it off, so it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Hawks, and unfortunately Noble House just didn't turn his body quickly enough. Quick enough, as House is still in the game. Maurice Clark out of the game, so they're definitely going to strike for the end zone here around the 12-yard line. Burrell in the backfield, 4 out wide. And now looks like the Hawks are going to take a quick timeout.
Timeout, St.Joes.
And with that timeout, we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports.
We're back.
Okay. And welcome back to Shai Stadium. As now a huge third 10 for the Hawks. Hawks up 21-7. They could make it 28-7 if they strike gold here. Noble House now in the slot. Burrell in the backfield. McCord waiting for Coach Tim Rogan for some signals. New offensive coordinator, Coach Sugden, has stepped up huge in this game. Now McCord dropping back, sees some pressure, fires to the end zone, and that's going to be out of play. Great coverage by number 20, Mordecai McDaniel. That'll bring up 4th and 10. And now for the Hawks, they're going to send the field goal unit out, try to get Antonio Chada out here with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left.
4th and 10.
4:24 left, and now Chada is going to try to put the Hawks back up 17 points.
Chada kick for.
And unfortunately, last week he was unable to make all of his field goals. He missed it quick when he missed it around a 28-yarder. And now from here, it'll be a 29-yard field goal. Kick is up and good for Chada. Antonio Chada, a very interesting story. Played soccer for the Hawks, and they were very, very limited on the kicking. They tried out Mike Campbell, that didn't work out. They tried Andrew Haney, that really didn't work out. Even though Andrew Haney is at Widener University playing college football, he's improved his game a lot. But at the time, they were looking for a kicker, and Chada was their guy. Came on at the OLGC game where he came up big. As John Pease and I actually had that call on WSJP, the St. Joes Prep Student Broadcasting Club, which is also here at Rutgers University. And now we're going to wait for Chada to kick off, see if the Cadets can make any magic happen. 4:20 left in the first half.
Chada to kick off.
Last week, Mordecai McDaniel had an interception returned at 53 yards, the 10-yard line. So this Cadet defense is known for being productive in the secondary. However, tonight is a different case, as the Ohio State commit Kyle McCord has changed the scenario. It's basically a must-win for the Hawks, as they need to bounce back from that one losses from 2016, 17, 18, and including this year. They only have 2 losses, which is very impressive from coaches Gabe Infante and new head coach Tim Roken. Now Coach Infante at Temple University, where the Owls just defeated Bucknell and Brandon Sanders, the former Prep Hawk. Now Chada, and they're going to call it a touchback as number 5, Jamar Curtis, tried to take it out of the end zone, but a great kick by number 48, Antonio Chada. And that'll put the ball on the 20-yard line, bring up 1st and 10 for the Cadets, and they're going to try to make something happen with 4:19 left.
1st and 10 from the 20 for the Cadets.
Now 1st and 10, 4:18 left. And the Hawks secondary has been phenomenal. The one touchdown that they gave up was Sol J. Maeva, and his scramble, he's got insane footwork, actually made Xavier Atkins fall and took it to the left side. Still awaiting Rakim Jarrett for his breakout touchdown, the 5-star committed to LSU. Nevertheless, Littleton bringing his 280-pound running back. And you just have to think that's going to be a huge advantage for the St. John's, as he doesn't even play a different position. He's a primary running back, which is very interesting. As it'll be 2nd and 6. Littleton, a very interesting player. Littleton has offers from South Carolina, UNC, Pitt, Syracuse, and Maryland. At running back, he's a 3-star running back, and at 280 pounds, I'm pretty sure any college will be delighted to have him attend. Nevertheless, 2nd and 6, straight to the end zone, and Nelson Jr. almost picked it off. but that'll bring up 3rd and 6. And Nelson Jr. went right through his hands
by Nelson Jr.
as we get a bit of breeze here at Rutgers Shy Stadium.
And 6.
And that'll bring up 3rd and 6. Keenan Nelson Jr., the very, very talented sophomore for the Hawks. He's going to be a huge player and most likely going to pick up many offers throughout the season and throughout his high school career as he's only a sophomore. Now press coverage for the Hawks. See what they're going to do. They're going to fire it deep. Targeted for number 18, DJ Lincolns. And that's going to be incomplete. Another overthrown pass from Maeva. And now the Cadets are going to have to punt the ball with 3:27 left.
And 6 at the 24.
We're going to try to get something going.
Alvarez on formation.
So 3:25 left in the first half.
Is deep.
Hagens is deep at around the Hawks 40-yard line as he's going to try to get this offense off to a great field position and try to kickstart this drive. One thing the Hawks have been doing very well in previous years is getting up and blocking punts. And there's going to be another delay of game penalty on St. John's, so that'll push them back 5 yards, and it'll be 4th and 11. Couple of miscommunications from the long snapper and the punter. So now Hagen's going to be lined up at around the 45-yard line, so even better field position potentially for the Hawks. As I was saying, one thing that the Hawks were very good at every single year so far is blocking punts, getting a lot of contact as Hagens takes up the middle to the Cadet 45, so great field position for the Hawks.
Stopped by Jordan.
And we're going to keep it here. Now the Hawks, what I was saying is they usually did a great job blocking punts. Miles Talley was one of the names. Zach Bogus, obviously, and Richard Carr was one of the big guys returning punts for touchdowns a lot. Now the Hawks are a bit inexperienced, but nevertheless, they have been doing a great job. Samir Hagens, an elite returner, has offers from St. Mary, Princeton, Penn, and Arizona State.
Go to D1MediaPros.com to watch more. Sorry.
Now Kyle McCord under center. Play action pass of Colby Burrell. It's tipped up in the air by number 19, Greg Hudgens. And that'll be 2nd and 10.
For Harrison Jr. Batted down by Hudgens. 2nd and 10.
Now it'll be 2nd and 10, 3:14 left in the first half. And the Hawks are going to try to create some magic. 24-7 for the Hawks. McCord hands it off to Burrell up the middle. Burrell gets tripped up a bit.
Burrell on
The gain around 3 yards on the carry. And that'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Hawks.
3rd and 7 at the 42.
2:58 left in the first half of action, and it's already a high-scoring game, at least for the Hawks. Malik Cooper subs out of the game, and Dan Stevenson checks back in. So they're going to block 6 here, unless Dan Stevenson goes out for an unusual route, which isn't very typical for St. Joe's prep tight ends, are mostly blocking tight ends. Around 2:30 left in the first half. Clark in motion. Court seeing what he's got, fires to Clark. And Clark is shut down by number 44, Rohan Davi. And now the Hawks are going to send out the punting crew, Xavier Atkins and co. And they're going to try to pin the Cadets deep into Hawk territory. Excuse me, into Cadet territory.
4th and 7.
4th and 7 for the Hawks.
Atkins
27
formation. McDaniel is deep.
McDaniel is deep for the Cadets. A pretty decent punt for Atkins. Takes a Cadet bounce. And the backspin on the punt will put that to around the 24 to 25 yard line. They're going to spot it at the 25. And the Cadets will take over. We're going to keep it here since there's only 2:19 left. Offense and defense are still on the field.
At the 25.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And the Hawks are going to look to capitalize, try to get McCord back into the offense, back into the groove of things, and hopefully get another stop. The Hawks defense has been doing a great job. Other than that one drive and one move from St.Joes Maeva, they've been doing a phenomenal job on the defensive end of things. Now Maeva in the shotgun, fires over the middle and gets leveled by Julian Talley, but nevertheless, Bryce Butler, a great catch, and that'll move it up to the 45-yard line. Butler offers from Kansas and Rutgers. Very interesting tight end. He's 6'3", 225, and very athletic, nevertheless. So the ball's spotted. The Cadets are in their hurry-up offense. A high snap, and Maeva's going to take it for himself. As he gets blocked, he's going off the edge to the 30. He's got Green in front of him. He's going to step out at around the 22, 21-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 20 exactly. And a beautiful carry from St.Joes Maeva, and BYU is getting a stud. That'll be 1st and 10 from the 20. He bounced it from off the inside to the outside. Great footwork, and he really showed off his 4.6 40-yard dash, which is very fast, sometimes faster than running backs and wide receivers. There's going to be another flag, what looks to be a false start from the Cadets, and it is going to be the false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. That'll be up a 1st and 15 for the Cadets, now from the 25. So it pushes them back 5 yards. A field goal from here will be around 42 yards, pretty long, but still got 4 lengthy downs and around 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Another big thanks to Tom McGuire, the director of Rumble on the Raritan, for making all this possible at Rutgers University for D1 Media Pro and all media here at Rutgers University. The Hawks will face IMG Academy of Florida next week, a big-time matchup. The location is still TBD, but a huge matchup for the Hawks. Nevertheless, Maeva backing up, going for the end zone, targeting Jarrett. Jarrett looks over that top and is going to be incomplete. Actually, it's going to target Caleb Coombs. And Coombs unfortunately could not keep his feet in bounds. Ball was a little bit overthrown from Maeva, and that'll bring up 2nd and 15 for the Hawks, or excuse me, for the Cadets. Hawks going to try to get another stop. Blake Romano with a fumble recover touchdown in the end zone. A huge play for the Hawks that put them up 14-0. 24-7. St.Joes Prep, they're going to be stunning right now, the Cadets, as Maeva's on the run again. Fake pass, going to try to get it off, and he gets it to Jarrett. Jarrett's tackled it around the 17-yard line. The clock's still running, 1:30 left. And the Cadets look like they're going to be in hurry-up offense. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. So a 3rd and 7 for the Cadets. They're taking their time a little bit. And Maeva's just going to try to find the right read and strike gold as they're going to try to crush this deficit to 10. Maeva's seeing what he's got. And a wide open Caleb Coombs is overthrown. It was incomplete, and the Hawks fans are not happy about that. They really wanted an illegal block in the back off the rush edge from Liam Johnson. But nevertheless, it is 4th and 7 for the Cadets. Now an interesting decision here. Do you kick the 3 or do you go for gold and go for 6? And it looks like the Cadets are going to keep their offense on the field and go big. Go big or go home, as we say here in North Jersey. 7 points would be huge for the Cadets, but if they miss out on this, they will get ball at halftime. But 24-7 is going to be huge. And it looks like the Hawks are going to take their final timeout of the first half, and we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live streaming for elite high school sports.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Ruka, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium as the St. John's College Cadets taking on the St.Joes Prep Hawks. The Hawks shocking the Cadets, the number 3 team in the nation, beating them 24-7. Now on the 17-yard line, 4th and 7, and it looks like the Cadets are going to go for it. And now Maeva's going to look, and it is dropped by number 5, Jamar Curtis. And great defense from the Hawks to get pressure on Maeva. And now with 58 seconds left, 0 timeouts left though, McCord's going to try. We're going to see what Coach Tim Roken does, if he's just going to run the clock down or if he's going to try to take a shot at the end zone. Maybe get in field goal range, put the lead up to 20 or maximum around 24 points, which would be huge for the Hawks going into halftime. But you cannot risk throwing an interception or fumbling because then the Cadets could get right back on the board. And it looks like the Hawks are just going to be taking a knee.
They could be doing some trickeration.
And going into halftime up 24-7. And the clock continues to tick down with around 45 seconds left. 2nd and 11. Kind of irrelevant though. Burrell around the 5-yard line, just making sure nothing goes wrong for the Hawks. Now McCord with the snap, and with that snap, that will take us into halftime. Your St.Joes Prep Hawks 24, St. John's Cadets. They are only 7 points, a stunner here at Rutgers University and Shai Stadium. And we're going to take a halftime break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the second half.
Fans, just a reminder, official Rumble on the Raritan merchandise is...
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even pressing curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
Yeah.
Hey, so on the suit. Took the win, decleaning. Ethan Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
Conversation with them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Shout out to D1 Media Pro, campus football. We are in the building. Fans come, support. Trying to bring the state back home, man, where it should be at. Back home. One down at a time, baby. 1 inch at a time. We here. Shout out to Mustafa. He's stars, baby, all day. Scott, I still love y'all.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
D1 Media Pro, baby.
You know it.
Yeah.
Hey, but on the scene. Took the win, deep cleaning. Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Shout out to D1 Media Pro, campus football. We are in the building. Fans come, support. Trying to bring the state back home, man, where it should be at. Back home. One down at a time, baby. 1 inch at a time. We here. Shout out to Mustafa. He's stars, baby, all day. Scott, I still love y'all.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You're gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
Hey, Brett, understood. Took him and decreasing. Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Shout out to D1 Media Pro, campus football. We are in the building. Fans come, support. Trying to bring the state back home, man, where it should be at. Back home. One down at a time, baby. 1 inch at a time. We here. Shout out to Mustafa. We starring, baby, all day. Scott, I still love y'all.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You're gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
Hey, Brett, understood. Took him and decreasing. Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Shout out to D1 Media Pro, campus football. We are in the building. Fans come, support. Trying to bring the state back home, man, where it should be at. Back home. One down at a time, baby. 1 inch at a time. We here. Shout out to Mustafa. We starring, baby, all day. Scott, I still love y'all.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
Khalil, tell me who's the number one media company in the country, man.
You gonna make it pro, baby?
You know it.
Hey, but understood. This took him and decreasing.
Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium. Around 24 seconds left of halftime, and then Antonio Chada will kick it off for the St. Joe's Prep Hawks. One of the key storylines is Rakim Jarrett. Unfortunately, he hasn't been a very huge part of the game. 0 catches, and the one catch he could have had was a drop. He's a 5-star, second in DC, 19th in the nation. As I've stated before, he's a LSU commit. He's had offers from everywhere in the nation, including Tennessee, Alabama, Clemson, Florida, and Michigan. He's only 6 foot, 208 pounds, but plays on the outside, which is very interesting. We'll see at LSU if they move him to slot because he's only 6 foot tall. And also Bryce Butler, the class of 21 tight end, was offers from Kansas and Rutgers. And Caleb Coombs hasn't really been showing out. He's probably been the primary receiver this game for the Cadets. He's a 4-star. He's the 3rd in DC for 2021. And he also has offers from UMass, Illinois, Maryland, and also Alabama. They just recently offered him. So obviously with that Alabama offer, he's going to pick up a lot more in the near future. But nevertheless, as we await for kickoff for the Hawks, we're going to thank Tom McGuire again, the director for Rumble on the Raritan, for making everything possible, including this D1 Media Pro broadcast. Now 24 minutes left in the game, and the Cadets of St. John's are going to look to reclaim the lead and reclaim their number 3 in the nation title. They're going to have to win this game if they want to keep that top 3 ranking, whereas the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep need this win as they're trying to rebound from the loss of Marietta, Georgia. Chada's kick is a touchback again. That's one thing Chada's been doing really well the past few games. A lot of his kicks have been touchbacks, which are very huge for this Hawk return team. They don't got to get their feet dirty. They don't have to get their hands dirty. Chada just kicks it off to a touchback, get that defense on the field, and everything should move smoothly. Same defensive front for the Hawks. Nick Yagadich, Andrew Bailey, Anthony Lenahan, and number 11, Blake Romano. And I have 2 cornerbacks on the field as well. In Keenan Nelson Jr., number 29, and Xavier Atkins, number 18, and recently moved safety David Watson because of the Anthony Wrightley injury. Now the Cadets under center, seeing what they got. Going to hand it off to Littleton.
Littleton on the carry.
And Littleton will take it for around 3 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and
Brought
7.
down on the play by Yagadich.
Coach Joe Casamento going to try to lead his team back into another win, and they're going to try to go 3-0, but unfortunately for them, this is no easy game. The Hawks of St. Joe's Prep, whenever they lose, you can see the fire in their eyes. For example, when they lost in 2017, the whole 2018 season was dedicated on that loss to Pine Richland, and they succeeded in envying that loss. Les going to go to Littleton on the right side. He's going to get tripped up. He's actually going to lose 2 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Brought down on the play by Yagadich. 3rd and 8 at the 22.
Excuse me, it'll be 3rd and 8 from the 22. 11:07 left on the clock. And now St. John's College is facing another 3rd down. It's going to be crucial for St. John's as they are down by 17. Quarterback Sol J. Maeva is going to try to get some action runs. He's overthrown a couple receivers as he's going to try to get some throws on the money. Going to the flat again. A great shake and bake move from number 5, Jamar Curtis. And Curtis gets all the way out to the 40-yard line. A great move by Curtis, and it's going to give a 1st down to the Cadets.
1st and 10.
And defenders heads down on the 20.
And the Hawks are going to try to get another stop. Try to get McCord and the offense on the field and increase this lead. Now it'll bring up 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to hand it off, and they are to Curtis. Curtis hits it to the left side and gets around a yard.
Curtis on the carry.
So Curtis on the carry. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for St. John's College. Tripped up by Aiden Nash and Andrew Bailey.
2nd and 9.
Aiden Nash, a very key contributor, also a very smart cookie. He's looking at very much Ivy League schools like Princeton and Penn. One of the, I'd say, the top 10 smartest kids at the school, which is a very great accomplishment. Now Nash in pass coverage, just recently transferred back as he moved. Nash on the pass coverage, and another drop from Rakim Jarrett, and a very unusual performance from Jarrett, the number 19 player in the nation, number 2 in DC, and another drop. It wasn't a great throw from Sol J. Maeva, but nevertheless, that's got to be a catch. So that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Cadets, and they're going to be forced to most likely throw this ball. As if you're going to run, the linebackers for the Hawks, including Trotter, Johnson, and Nash, definitely going to get some stops. It looks like the Hawks are going to rush 5 as they do. Tries to force it out, and somehow Rakim Jarrett makes the catch to around the 49-yard line, and now that's going to mark up a 4th down and 1 situation. And if you're the Cadets, you really need to decide. You're not in terrible field position. You could go for this on 4th and 1.
4th and 2.
A great throw by Maeva. Lenahan got pretty good pressure there. Scrambled to the left side, tossed it all the way to Rakim Jarrett. And now the Hawks fans clapping. The Cadets sideline is jumping. They're going to need something special here. Maeva seeing what he's got. He's getting rushed. He's going to have to chuck it all the way up. It looks for Coombs, but Coombs is just a little too slow for it, a little bit overthrown, and the Hawks offense is going to take the field with great field position. Xavier Atkins had a great field position.
Turnover on downs. It'll be 1st and 10.
And since Anthony Wrightley's injured, this is why Xavier Atkins is getting a lot of playing time, and he is playing phenomenal football here today at Shai Stadium. And you just have to think, if Sol J. Maeva is just a tint more accurate, this would be a whole different ball game. Just a few throws that were just 4 or 5 yards overthrown. And now the Hawks will take the field with junior captain Kyle McCord, senior running back captain Colby Burrell. Maurice Clark still looking for his first catch of the day. Looks like there's a bit of trickery here. Malik Cooper, the backup QB, looking for Harrison. And unfortunately, Malik Cooper's going to throw an interception. Great pass coverage by what it looks to be Mordecai McDaniel. Mordecai McDaniel was getting burnt all first half. Now he comes up with a huge stop. Great awareness by Mordecai McDaniel, not being tricked by the trickery for the Hawks. Plays the ball relatively well. Harrison tries to get around it, but McDaniel was all over that throw from Cooper. Now Cooper's going to have an interception and a touchdown. And now the Cadets are back in action on offense. 9:38 left in the third quarter. 1st and 10 to go from around the 20-yard line. So now a 1st and 10, a high snap. They're going to hand it off to Curtis. McDonald. And McDonald is going to get down at the 29-yard line. It's going to be wrapped up by Trotter Jr. And one thing that St. John's College does really well is they throw the rotation of running backs in a lot. Obviously, I've been messing up a little bit of the names, but I've been trying my best. Number 3, Colby McDonald. Number 5, Jamar Curtis. And number 7, Antoine Littleton. Littleton isn't that hard to spot. He's 280 pounds. As Caleb Coombs picks up the first down to around the 42-yard line. That's going to be another first down for the Cadets.
1st and 10.
And now for St. John's College, we're kind of getting in a rhythm. Sol J. Maeva is doing a great job as a great move by Colby McDonald.
Brought down by Nash and Trotter.
As the PA announcer was wrong right there, it was actually Colby McDonald on the carry. Aiden Nash, a great tackle, so now it's going to be 2nd and 5. Now he's going to take the snap. He's going to look to a screen play for Jarrett, and Jarrett is actually going to be taken down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss of 2 and a 3rd and 7.
By Nelson Jr. and Nash.
Keenan Nelson Jr., number 29, having a great game for the Hawks. And now another 3rd and a bit long 3rd and 7 here for the Cadets. Play action. He's going to roll out to the right side. He's going to look for Jarrett. Play is made, and that's going to be another first down. And Rakeem Jarrett is now heating up.
1st and 10.
1st and 10.
Ball out to 47.
The ball is down at the 47-yard line of the Hawks. So now the Cadets in rival territory. They're going to try to make something happen here in the third quarter. Play action pass, Rakeem Jarrett. It gets clamped up by Keenan Nelson Jr. Great defensive coverage on the one-on-one screen pass, and now that'll be a 2nd and 6. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6
for the Cadets. From the 43-yard line, Littleton in the backfield. And Soldier is going to take it himself. He's going to get hit hard by Julian Talley. And he's going to take the keeper all the way to the 39-yard line and bring up a 3rd and 2.
Text me. 3rd and 1 at the 38.
Actually going to be a 3rd and 1 after they spot the ball. So now Littleton is back in the game. And with 3rd and 1, you'd assume that they would jump. And now, unfortunately for St. John's College, they're going to get another false start penalty. And unfortunately for the Cadets, it went from 3rd and 1. They could have ran up the gut with Littleton. Now it's going to be 3rd and 6. It was 3rd and less than 1, and now it is going to be 3rd and 6. Littleton still in the backfield. Jarrett to his right, Coombs to his left, and they're going to still hand it off to Littleton. Hawks were not expecting it, and Littleton gets to the outside on the left side. The big fridge is running up to the 10-yard line, down the sideline, tries to go for the end zone, and he's going to be taken down at the 4-yard line. A terrific run by Littleton, and that man can run. I was shocked when he got the ball, took it to the left side, but man, can the fridge run? Yes, he can. Doing a great job. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. And as I've said in the past, Littleton has offers from South Carolina, UNC, Maryland, and Pitt.
Science and Citizen Cope.
And a quick shout out to Science and Citizen Cope here on D1 Media Pro. And now Trotter gets a huge tackle on the keeper from Sol-J Maeva.
Brought down on the play by Trotter Jr.
Brought down by Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And he has had a huge junior season as well. Now it's going to be 2nd and goal. It's going to be McDonald in the backfield with Maeva. Maeva's going to have to make something happen if he wants to see his cadets make any run in this game. Now Jarrett motioning to the left side with Coombs. And they're going to hand it off to McDonald. McDonald tries for the edge, end zone, touchdown. Colby McDonald goes right through everybody into a perfect hole set up for him on the left edge. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Cadets. Now they're only down 11, 24-13 as we await the PAT. If it goes through, they will only be down 10, and we will have a game again, and it will put way more pressure on Ohio State commit quarterback Kyle McCord. He's going to have to get something going for the Hawks if they want to keep this lead strong.
Fitzgerald to hold.
Fitzgerald will hold. Reyes will kick. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. Point after is good. Now the Cadets will only be down 10 with 5:48 left in the third quarter. And we're going to keep it here with 5:48 left. Another shout out to Science and Citizen Cope for making everything D1 Media Pro the #1 live stream for elite high school sports, making it possible. And one thing, as we are going to shout out Tom McGuire again, the director for Rumble on the Raritan. But as I was saying before, one thing that has been huge is in that drive, Rakim Jarrett finally found his rhythm, and same with Sol-J Maeva. A little bit of a hard name to pronounce, but St. John's College is having fun on the sideline. They're jumping around to, obviously, the song Jump Around. Jump around, jump up, and get down. The lyrics from the crazed 80s, 90s song. And the one thing about the Cadets that, their energy is so positive, and it makes a really big impact when you're down. We're down 24-7. They're going to put another 7 points on the board, and they're still positive even though they're down 10. And it looks like someone is going to be taking... Oh, no, the ball just dropped. So it looks like McDonald with another recap. McDonald with a huge touchdown run. And as we await kickoff, Higgins and Cooper are back. Higgins is going to take it, but he's in the end zone, so that's going to be a touchback for St. John's College. Now the Hawks are going to be forced to do something on offense. They're going to have to put at least 3 on the board to get up 13 points. But obviously, if you're Kyle McCord in that offense, you're going to need some big points. You're going to want 6. Get up 31-14. Hopefully going into the fourth quarter. That'd be a very crucial lead that they might need going into the fourth quarter, because obviously last fourth quarter things didn't roll their way in Marietta, Georgia. Now we're in New Brunswick, New Jersey at Shai Stadium at Rutgers University. And so far things are good, as McCord is going to look and try to make something happen. McCord fires over the top to Maurice Clark, and that's going to be incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Pass intended for Clark. Overton with the coverage. 2nd and 10.
And it'll be 2nd and 10 with 5:44 left. It's our own 20-yard line. Lead is 24-14. Clark in motion. McCord firing deep. A little miscommunication on the comeback route with Harrison Jr. And now 5:39 left on the clock. Obviously that pass was intended for Harrison. A little bit of confusion on that comeback route. So that'll bring up a huge 3rd and 10 for the Hawks. because if you're the Cadets, you need a a 3 and out. And now the Cadets are in it. Their bench is hyped up. Their fans are rowdy, and to be fair, everything's rolling the Cadets' way, and if anyone can stop it, it's going to be McCord. Higgins and Cooper in the slot. Clark and Harrison on the outsides with Burrell in the backfield. And there's going to be a flag, and it looks like it's going to be another false start for the Hawks. Nope. It's actually going to be a timeout for St.Joes. They didn't like coverage that the Cadets were in. So with taking that timeout, we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the third quarter of action.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even pressing curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium as a crucial 3rd down and 10 for the Hawks. Hawks now running a 5-wide formation, and we're going to see what McCord can do here on 3rd down. Looks like they're going to run a screen pass to Burrell, but he is slammed by number 53. Actually, it's going to be number 23, Mikhail Sherman, and he's finally going to make a huge play on the day, the future Georgia Bulldog. And now MJ and the Cadets are going to get ready to receive this kick as number 5, Jamar Curtis, is back for the Cadets. Time still ticking, 5:10 left, plenty of time in the ballgame for the Cadets to come back. And if the Cadets just put any points on the board this drive, it is going to be a 1-possession game. Kick from Atkins takes a friendly Hawk bounce. A little short kick, but still takes a friendly Hawk bounce. And that'll be a 1st down and 10 from the Hawk 45. So they're going to have a great field position. And with that kick, we're going to keep it here on D1 Media Pro. And one thing the Cadets have been doing is ever since the second half started, their momentum has been huge. Their bench play has been huge, and you can just see it on each sideline. The Hawks really aren't getting hype enough. And tomorrow we're going to have a triple header here at the Rumble on the Raritan at 12 p.m. Abraham Lincoln from New York is going to be taking on Archbishop Stepanek from New York at 12 p.m. Right after that at around 3:30, Union, New Jersey is going to take on Curtis, New York. And then after that, to finalize the triple header, Montclair, New Jersey will be taking on West Orange, New Jersey at around 7 as Littleton takes it up the middle, up to the 39-yard line. And that's going to be a 2nd and 4. Trotter and Romano come up on the tackle. And now the Tides are rolling for the number 3 team in the nation, St. John's College. Over the middle to Jarrett, and now Jarrett's on the left sideline. Jarrett, it's a foot race downtown, touchdown. Rakeem Jarrett finally broke out for one of his 5-star touchdowns, and that's what you get when you get a 6', 208 guy who's a 5-star. Rakeem Jarrett runs all over the defense, and now we got a ball game on our hands. The Hawks only up 4 as we await the PAT, and now all pressure is on Kyle McCord. And the St. John's College bench is hype, as you see on the screen now. You can see them dance and celebrate, and they're back in this game, and they're proving why they're the number 3 team in the nation. Entered out of halftime, they were down 24-7. 14 straight unanswered points at the PAT is good and true, and it is. So that'll be 14 straight points. Oh, excuse me, the PAT was no good. Unfortunate for the Cadets, they had all momentum rolling for them. And we're going to keep it here on D1 Media Pro as a huge catch from Rakeem Jarrett. Unbelievable catch right over the middle, and a very accurate throw from Soljay Maeva, which we haven't seen a lot from, so he's heating up. Rakeem Jarrett's heating up. Now their defense is heating up, and the only thing the Hawks can do is just pray that McCord can turn on his heat check. Because exactly on 2K, when you turn on that heat check and when you get on fire, McCord is cash money. Alvarez will be taking the kick for the Hawks, for the Cadets. Higgins and Cooper are deep for the Hawks, as the Hawks await the kick. And one big storyline in this game was, can head coach Tim Roken for the Hawks bounce back against that loss against Marietta, Georgia? Early it looked good. They were up 21-0, but ever since then, St. John's College is on a 20-3 run. Now Malik Cooper taking up the sideline. He's got a hole, and he's going to take it all the way out to the 27-yard line. A pretty good return from the 1-yard line. So with 4:12 remaining, it'll be 1st and 10.
Ball at the 27.
Ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line with 4 minutes and 11 seconds. 1st and 10 for the Hawks with around 4:11 to go. And now McCord's going to have to work some of his magic that convinced Ohio State send him an offer. He's done it in the past. Can he do it here at Rutgers Stadium? Burrell up the middle gets a pretty decent gain. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Hawks. Burrell was definitely a huge part for the reason that they were in the game against Marietta. A very sloppy game. Receivers couldn't really catch the ball. But fortunately for the Hawks, they had Kyle McCord delivering some sensational passes last week, and also Burrell running up the gut. The only guy that could really stop him was defensive end B.J. Ojulari, who's committed to Tennessee. Now the Hawks going to hand it off to Burrell again up the middle. And he gets stuffed by number 58, Tazi Johnson. And that'll bring up another crucial a crucial 3rd down for the Hawks. And that'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Gain of 3, 3rd and 2.
So a 3-yard gain from Burrell. And you got to think, if you're Coach Tim Roken and Coach Tom Sugden, what are you going to do? It's 3rd and 2. You could run the ball. A little risky, but at the same time, if you pass, it's an incomplete. You're most likely going to have to punt. Not in great field position at around the 37-yard line. McCord rolls out to his right. Finds Samir Higgins for the 1st down, and the Hawks are going to get another 1st down, move the chains.
Pass intended for Higgins, incomplete.
It was incomplete.
On the coverage.
What looked to be what he got a foot in. Unfortunately for the Hawks, it's going to be incomplete. Even my producer here thought that was a complete catch. So did the guys to the right of us broadcasting the game. But nevertheless, now Xavier Atkins is going to have to punt, and St. John's can take their first lead of the day with this offensive drive. Atkins' punt is a pretty far one, gets around to the 30-yard line, as they're going to try to take down number 5, Jamar Curtis. Curtis gets to the outside around the 43-yard line, and that's where it will down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cadets. And here come the Cadets, 2:41 to go, left in the 3rd quarter. Still have a whole 4th quarter of action to play. So don't miss it. Stay tuned to D1 Media Pro. Obviously the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Now the St. John's College fans are getting rowdy as Littleton takes it up the left side, goes up the middle. He is fast for the big fridge, shoves off number 19, David Watson, and the fridge takes it all the way to the touchdown end zone. Can you believe it? I can't. The big fridge, a D1 prospect, no doubt. And that'll give the first lead of the game for the St. John's Cadets. And the sideline for the Cadets is pumping. I cannot believe what I just saw. Took it up the middle, cut it up the left side. And a very special talent, Littleton is, absolutely shoved David Watson off at midfield and just took it to the end zone. And now Kyle McCord is going to be faced with even more pressure, as if the Hawks want to win this ball game and not go 0-2. They're going to have to reclaim this lead fast. And one thing that really sticks out to Littleton, the elusiveness, the speed that he has, very key for a 6-foot, 280-pound running back, a different specimen. He is very fast. And he is the definition of a fridge, but he can run. Now it is 27-24 with 2:30 left. The script has flipped, and the Cadets of St. John's have showed why they are the number 3 team in the nation as we await for Alvarez's kick. And Littleton put wheels on him. Very crazy stat line for him. Watching film for him, it didn't really look like he was that fast. It looked like he had wheels for a fridge. But similar to Anthony Lenahan, he's a pretty fast dude for his size. 280 pounds, 6 feet tall, has offers from Maryland, UNC, and some other big-name schools, including Pitt, Syracuse, and South Carolina. And I'm sure any of those schools would be delighted to have the fast fridge. Kick from Alvarez is out, and that's going to be a touchback. And now the Hawks offense is going to try to reclaim the lead for the first time ever since St. John's College has went on a 20-0 run. They made the extra point. It would have been 21. But unfortunately for the Cadets, now they're only up 3, which is really a one-possession game. If it was 4, would have forced the Hawks to go for 7. We still have a lot of time left in this game, though. 2:30 left in the third quarter, a huge fourth quarter ahead of us. So you want to make sure to stay tuned to D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Now McCord is going to try to make some of his magic happen. Throws it outside to the sideline, complete to Malik Cooper.
Pass complete to Cooper.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Gain of 6 on the play. 2nd and 4.
The 2nd and 4. And now the St. John's College, what are the fans saying? All drinks on me. They are ready. They are pumped up. And they cannot wait to get into this fourth quarter. Now McCord under center, seeing what he's got. Tosses it deep to Harrison, pretty open. And an insane catch by Marvin Harrison going all the way over Mordecai McDaniel, using his 6'3" frame. And that's going to be another Hawks first down.
1st and 10 for the Hawks at the 47.
And with 2:14 left to go in this third quarter, we're going to have a jam-packed fourth. Now McCord under center, seeing what he's got. He's going to go deep to Harrison. He's got him deep. He's going to complete the catch, but there's going to be a flag on the play anyway. I'm not sure if he caught it or not. He has the football on the ground, obviously. And it looks like it's going to be defensive pass interference from number 20, Mordecai McDaniel. Obviously, you didn't see it on the big screen, but he did the MJ little celebration with the shrug. I mean, nevertheless, it looks like it's going to be defensive pass interference, if I'm not mistaken. And is going to be defensive pass interference. So that's going to be a huge 15 yards for the Hawks, as he was out of bounds when he caught the ball. Still a magnificent catch from Harrison. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
I think that's all genetics. Strictly genetics.
And as my producer Mustafa said, saw strictly genetics. Obviously his father, Marvin Harrison Sr., played with Peyton Manning and the Colts. And Malik Cooper takes it up the middle. He's got green to go, and Malik Cooper is 2nd touchdown of the day. And Cooper is pumped up. One of the key receivers for the Hawks. And now the Hawks reclaim the lead. Malik Cooper bringing a spark back to this Hawks offense. And we have a game in front of us. The Hawks now up 30-27. They can make it a 4-point game if the PAT is good. But how about number 16? A huge touchdown from Malik Cooper. Once a backup QB looking to not get time, they move him to slot receiver, and he has made things happen in this game. 2 touchdowns for Cooper. Just such wheels on the kid, such a smart kid, and his football IQ is really, really impeccable. Now Chada for the extra point is up and good. That'll put the Hawks up 31-27. And with that insane drive, a huge pass from Kyle McCord, we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Be sure to stay tuned for the rest of the third quarter and the fourth when we get back.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
Hands up, Jack. Understood. Took the win, decreasing.
Ethan Horton. Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
Let's do it. And welcome back to Shai Stadium at Rutgers University, where the Hawks of St.Joes prep Malik Cooper. The connection from Kyle McCord put them up 31-27. They drove 80 yards down the field, around a 27-yard touchdown from Malik Cooper. There's 1:51 left in the third, and make sure to not move from your seat, ladies and gentlemen. Get your popcorn ready, because the fourth quarter is almost upon us, and this one is a thriller. Last week, if you guys listened to the WSJP broadcast from Marietta, Georgia, that was a thriller, but this is an even more thriller, a much more high-scoring game. Not even less defensive, but just the offensive are really clicking for both teams. Kick from Chada is a bit short, going to take it at the 10-yard line. Going to side it in the edge, and that's going to be number 5, Jamar Curtis. Curtis will take it all the way out. So it looks to be the 20-yard line. It's the same thing as the touchback. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. doing a great job in coverage there. And now it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The offense for St. John's College is going to be pressured a little bit. Still the whole fourth quarter to play, so not a ton of pressure, but they're going to want the lead back. Ever since the second half started, St. John's College has looked like the #3 team in the nation. First half wasn't the same case. Now take the snap, play action pass, seeing what he's got. McCava is going to look for a stutter step for perfection. Going to take it around the 35-yard line. And Mayava, a huge scramble, and you can tell, not a big throwing guy, but he can use his wheels.
1st and 10.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. And even though I will say Mayava has overthrown a bit of passes to his receivers, Rakeem Jarrett and Caleb Combs, he's been doing a great job running the ball. Kind of a bit of a Lamar Jackson-esque team as they hand it off to Littleton, tries to get the truck, but a great defensive effort by number 10, Liam Johnson, getting to the legs and pulling him down. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 36.
With a minute and 10 seconds left, excuse me, a minute 7 seconds left. Clock is still ticking. We still have a huge fourth quarter ahead of us. Now St. John's College from their 36-yard line, seeing what they do. They're going to try to go deep to Jarrett, and great coverage by number 29, the sophomore, Keenan Nelson Jr. He's been stepping up huge, and if he doesn't get a handle on that ball, Jarrett is going to the end zone. The sophomore is going to have a sensational season this season. Expect to have a sensational season junior year, and then definitely a breakout season senior year. This kid is a special talent, is definitely going to be picking up offers from all over the nation. Now it is going to be a crucial 3rd and 9 for the Cadets. Now we're going to see what he's got. He's going to be pressured, and he's going to be stomped down.
Mayava on the carry.
And Mayava is going to get around maybe a yard or so on the carry, but he's going to be Trotter. Trotter. He's going to come up with the sack, and now it's going to be 4th and 9.
Alvarez in punt formation.
And now Alvarez will be trying to punt it away, and Hagens is back. So the Hawks can try to increase their lead. If they get a field goal, they'll put it to a touchdown. If they get a touchdown, obviously it'll go to 10 points with the PAT. Alvarez got a good snap, a pretty decent punt, as Hagens has to back for that and muffs the punt. Hagens somehow, thankfully, recovers the punt. But a very scary sight for the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep. But Samir Hagens fell on it perfectly. And one of the slot receivers for the Hawks, Samir Hagens, and a very unusual drop. There's not a lot of drop and muffed punts. And that will be the end of the third quarter. And we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for a jam-packed fourth quarter.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You gonna get pro, baby.
You know it.
Yeah. Hey, up, Jack. Understood. Took him and decreasing.
Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
With them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium here at Rutgers University, New Brunswick, where Kyle McCord and the Hawks drop 31-27 against #3 rated in the nation, St. John's College. As it looks to be handed off to Burrell, or excuse me, yeah, Burrell on the carry, and it'll be 2nd and 13. Excuse me, 2nd and 12 for the Hawks, and Mikhail Sherman finally doing his due diligence. The Georgia commit making huge strides in the second half. First half he was a little silent. Now he's got a sack and 3 tackles. As I was saying, the Hawks had a huge Friday Night Lights action last week against Marietta, Georgia in Marietta, and now this week the same circumstances apply. McCord's going to have to be poised here in the fourth quarter if the Hawks want a win. The halfback draw here, and Burrell is taken down. Going to gain around 3 on the play, excuse me. And it will be 3rd and 10.
Gain of 3. 3rd and 10. At the 12.
It'll be 3rd and 10 as Burrell is limping off the field, and he's going to be actually down. A very scary sight for the Hawks. An injury timeout. So we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports.
Come visit Charlene's Hair Studio at 556 Main Street in Orange, New Jersey. We are a professional full-service salon in business for over 35 years with legendary stylists such as Kelly, Luca, Zaira, and Charlene. We specialize in hair care first. We do natural hair, weaves, precision haircuts, colors, silk press, blowouts, even press and curls and jerry curls. Call us to schedule an appointment at 973-675-1012. You want that number again? It's 973-675-1012, and you won't be disappointed. Okay.
You can bring me back. Oh, we're back. All right. A little bit of miscommunication here in the studio. Nevertheless, we are back to Rutgers University in New Brunswick at Shai Stadium. Fans are cheering on, so I'm guessing Burrell has got to the sideline. Nevertheless, this game has not been a disappointment, and it has lived up to the hype. Number 14 in the nation, St. Joe's Prep Hawks, are up 31-27 on number 3, St. John's College. And now Burrell out of the game. However, Dan Stevenson aimed for block. McCourt's seeing what they got. Pressure off the edge. He's going to try to do something, scrambling to the right. He's going to have to throw it away. He gets outside the pocket as he was targeting number 2, Samir Hagan's incomplete pass. So that's going to bring up 4th and 10. And now the Hawks are going to have to punt it. And one thing that has been huge is that now the cadets of St. John's College are going to have one great field position as Atkins is going to have to punt outside from the end zone. And number 2, the cadets can strike gold here, get a touchdown with around, I'd say, 7 to 8 minutes. You're going to put the Hawks in very pressured territory, and McCourt has done well in pressure. And a botched punt from Atkins, a very short kick. So he's taken from Jamar Curtis, and he's going to be hammered at the 35-yard line. So St. John's College has terrific field position. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 for the cadets.
1st and 10 at the 36.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36. And as I've stated before, Friday Night Lights has not disappointed. We are in for a thriller here. With 10:32 left in the 4th quarter, St. John's College down by 4. They're going to have to try to use their offensive maestro, Sol J. Maeva, and their 3 running backs, obviously Colby McDonald, Jamar Curtis, and the big fridge, Antoine Littleton. And there's a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be a false start on the offense as Liam and company are company, and it is, so it's going to be 1st and 15. So a bit of confusion, and that's happened a lot in this game. St. John's College has not really been in sync on the offensive line. But nevertheless, they're still in the game. Now it'll be 1st and 15 from the 41-yard line. The ref's going to grab his flag back. And Coach Joe Casamento is going to try to get his first huge win as a missed tackle from Anthony Lenahan. And Colby McDonald takes it all the way down to the 30-yard line around a 10-yard rush, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5. And it looked like it was going to be a tackle for loss, but he shook Anthony Lenahan off. Bit of shake and bake action there on the left side. And now 2nd and 5, a very much more manageable situation for the cadets. And now the handoff taken by McDonald. McDonald up the middle. And McDonald is having a show for himself to put on in the 4th quarter. And the cadets are definitely going to need it if they want to get back in this ball game, down by 4 with 10:23 left.
1st and 10
Fridge coming out
at the 21.
And the big fridge, number 7, Antoine Littleton, is coming into this ball game. A very elusive running back, shockingly, at his big size at 280 pounds. Littleton takes the snap. He's going to get it all the way to the end zone. His elusiveness gets him all the way to around 9 yards. And I am still fascinated by this kid, Antoine Littleton. I shouldn't even call him a kid. I should call him a grown man. Antoine Littleton has had a huge game for himself and is building a huge reputation, making a couple big SEC offers. He does have offers from UNC and South Carolina, but nevertheless might get a couple of big offers after his sensational senior season. Now it'll be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line, the 11-yard line. Now they're going to hand it off to the big fridge again. Elusiveness helps him a little bit. Gets around to the 6-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5. And Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Blake Romano come up with a tackle there. And now 9:30 left. Very interesting situation for the cadets, because if you score here, the Hawks really can't milk the clock 9 minutes. It'd be really tough. As Sol J. Sol-Jay Maeva come back onto the turf. He's going to try to lead the Cadets to reclaiming the lead. He's going to fire to the end zone to Jarrett, and it's been poked out by number 29, Keenan Nelson Jr., a huge asset for the Hawks, as if they didn't have him, they'd be in deep trouble. But Nelson Jr. is putting on a show, shutting down Rakim Jarrett. A great coverage. And just very hard to believe that he's only a sophomore. He has such great football IQ. And now the Hawks fans getting into it with a defense chance. 9:05 left. David takes the snap, hands it off to Big Fridge, and he's going to be taken down at the 5-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 5 from the 5-yard line. It'll be first and goal, rather, but it'll be 4th and 3, but it will be from the 5-yard line. If they would have made the PAT, it could have been an opportunity to tie the game. But now Fitzgerald's going to hold. Reyes will be in for the field goal. And if they would have made the PAT, it could have been a tie ball game here with 8:28 left. But if they make it, they'll still be down 1. And for the last points are points, and this would be huge for St. John's, as the kick is up and good through the uprights. St. John's College has brought themselves back into a one-possession game. It was still a one-possession game, and now they're only down by 1, 8:20 left in the fourth quarter. And again, a huge thanks to Tom McGuire and Science and Citizen Cope. Tom McGuire, obviously the director of Rumble on the Raritan, and Science and Citizens Cope making everything happen here at D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Now the Hawks awaiting kickoff, as it will most likely be Samir Hagens and Malik Cooper back for kickoff. However, Alvarez has been doing a great job. And they are a Grammy Award winner. Science and Citizens Cope, a huge announcement. Achievement, not announcement. But now the Hawks, I wouldn't say their backs are against the wall, but the Cadets are definitely back against the wall. They need a stop. If they don't get a stop, the Hawks can definitely milk the clock if play their cards right. Now Coach Tim Roke and his play calling will be to the test. The kick very short, only to the 10-yard line. Now Cooper takes it to the right side. He's got a bit of an edge, gets chased out, and he'll be taken out at the 22-yard line. So instead of a touchback, they're going to add 2 yards, and he was stopped by Ricks. So now the Hawks are going to see. We're going to see how they play their cards. 8:15 left here in the game, and now for the Hawks, it's just a very big question mark. Are they going to use the chew clock strategy, or are they going to try to fire for the end zone? Now, if you're the Hawks, you fire for the end zone. You're up 38-30, but unfortunately, like they did last week against Marietta, they did the same thing. However, they were down, so I do not blame them. But nevertheless, they didn't milk the clock. They gave them a little too much time with arguably the best receiving corps in the nation. And as we know the outcome of that game, Marietta, Georgia, and Eric Gilbert came out with the victory. Now McCord hands it off to Burrell. Burrell takes it up the middle, shut down by Trey Williams. And now it'll be 2nd and around 8 for the Hawks. And it looks like the Hawks are in no rush, which they shouldn't be. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 24 with around 7:56 left. The defensive front from the St. John's Cadets has been phenomenal today. Tazi Johnson, Trey Williams, Greg Hudgens, and MJ McHale Sherman, the Georgia commit. They've been doing a great job. McCord going to the sideline. Harrison spins him off to the left side, turns, and Harrison's going to take a truck all the way out to the 49-yard line. And they are in enemy territory. That is a great sign. Marvin Harrison Jr. having a bit of a quiet game. Has had a few great catches, but unfortunately for the Hawks, they haven't really seen a lot of targets to him. McCord targets him on the outside, takes a great spin move, a little bit of a shake and bake there, and gets to, the Hawks 49, but they're in great field position now. Now they're going to hand it off to Burrell on the right side. He's going to take it for a first down. And now a huge commit for Buffalo as they're going to be banking big on Colby Burrell. He did have an offer from Stadium where right now, Rutgers University, but I feel like at Buffalo, he said he felt like he was at home and he felt like he was, quote, the guy, quote, at Buffalo. The same thing with Kyle McCord. Ohio State didn't really target a QB in that class. Justin Fields will be out. And Kyle McCord looked. Now McCord hands it off to Burrell. Burrell, a little bit of a shake. And it looks like a gain of none. So the second and short.
Stop on the play by
And
Sherman.
let's see where they spot him. They're going to spot him just inches shy. So it will be 3rd and inches. We're going to name it 3rd and 1, but it will be 3rd and inches for the Hawks. They're going to do a QB sneak with McCord, and McCord is going to fall forward. They're going to move the chains, and the Hawks are going to extend the drive, which is going to be huge for the Hawks, as they're just going to keep chipping time off this clock. 6:31 left as we await to move the chains.
1st and 10 on the 38.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. If you're the Hawks, a field goal really is not going to please you. You're going to need 6 points on the board. And even if you get 6 points and hit that extra PAT, it's still a one-possession game. It would be an 8-point game. And quarterback Sol J. Maeva could try to drive this Cadet offense and potentially take the game into overtime. Now the Hawks with 5 seconds left on the play clock. Hand it off to Burrell. Burrell up the middle. Gets a great hold from Casey Stevenson. And the carry is taken all the way out to the 33-yard line. Excuse me, the 32-yard line.
And Gibson.
And MJ Sherman on the stop. And now Tazi Johnson is down with an injury at around the 35-yard line. So with that injury, we're going to take a quick break here on D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the 4th quarter.
Khalil, tell me who's the #1 media company in the country, man.
You gonna get pro, baby?
You know it.
Hey, back on the scene. Took the win, decreasing.
Horton dribbles into the front court to Khalil Whitney. Going to the basket and the jam.
Conversation with them because they are getting resources from the city. They are getting resources, and they're arguing with us about the timeliness of those resources.
And welcome back to Shai Stadium at Rutgers University. It is 2nd and 4 for the Hawks as time management is going to be key. The injury timeout from Tazi Johnson. And now the clock is running 5:40, 13 seconds left on the game clock, on the play clock. Now the difference is just the extra point. And they're going to hand it off to Burrell again on the right side. He's going to be smothered.
Ball carried by Burrell.
And Burrell brings it up to the 31-yard line, and that'll bring up a huge 3rd and 3 for the Hawks. If the Hawks can convert this 3rd and 3, they would be in great position to milk the clock even more. However, if they don't get it, that'll stop the clock at around 5 minutes. And now for the Hawks, very interesting scenario. Do you want to throw the ball and risk stopping the clock, or do you want to just pound it in with Burrell? Now McCord in the shotgun, interesting formation. They're going to hand it off to Burrell in the snap. And Burrell's fighting for yards, and he gets it. The Buffalo commit, Colby Burrell, a huge run. And that's going to extend the drive and milk the clock even more.
And Jordan combined for the stop.
Very gutsy decision by brand new first-year head coach Tim Roken. But it paid off, and now they're going to be able to milk the clock even more. And if they pick up another first down, St. John's still does have their 3 timeouts. However, Coach Joe Casamento is going to have to be wise on when he uses these timeouts. 10 seconds left on the play clock. You're going to be snapping it sooner than later. 5-4, and McCord getting ready to take the snap. Little high snap. He's going to throw the ball over to Marvin Harrison Jr. and the pass was just a little too soft. A great pass to Mordecai McDaniel as he gets his hands up right in Marvin Harrison, and that is huge for the Cadets because it's going to stop the clock at 4:15. Now 2nd down and 10. The Hawks a very difficult situation. And it looks like they're going to hand it off to Barlow. Barlow's going to be stuffed. And they're actually going to lose a yard. So now it's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Hawks. So 3rd and 11 with 4 minutes left. And last week, they thought they scored the game-winning touchdown, but unfortunately, Marietta's Ricky White scored. So now St. Joe's Prep, 3:39 left in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 11, and a huge play call for the Hawks. And it looks like they're going to call a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock, as they do, and new head coach Tim Roken takes a very strategic timeout.
St. Joe's.
And we're going to keep it here on D1 Media Pro on this timeout. 3:29 left as we're at Rutgers University, New Brunswick. And now a huge thing here for the Hawks is if they get this first down, then the Cadets are going to be forced to use their timeouts, all 3 of them. But if they don't get this first down, they are in field goal range, so hopefully they'll extend the lead to 34-30. However, if they miss the field goal, the Cadets will have another chance for a game-winning drive. And unfortunately for the Hawks, they've seen this fairy tale happen before last week in Marietta, Georgia, and it did not end up well for the Hawks. Ricky White, the Michigan State commit from Marietta, had a huge touchdown catch with 14 seconds left. Now St. John's College, the only thing separating this game was a missed extra point from St. John's College. Each have 4 touchdowns, each have 1 made field goal. The fans are getting rowdy here at Rutgers University, New Brunswick at Shai Stadium. McCord under center, seeing what he's going to do. He escapes the pocket. He's going to try to scramble for 10 yards. He's going to get rocked. He's going to fight very heavily for that. He's going to gain around 6 or 7 yards. And now St. John's College going to be strategic. Use a timeout with 3:20 left. So now if you're the Hawks, you're most likely going to send the field goal unit on, but it is a huge play for the Hawks because it will be 4th down and 6 for the Hawks. Now another field goal opportunity for the Hawks. Ball is on the 23-yard line, so that'd be around a 40-yard field goal for Antonio Chata, and he's hit them in practice, he's hit them in preseason. However, I'm not going to say streaky kicker, but sometimes they're just off the mark, which happens to every kicker. But unfortunately for the Hawks, it's a pretty lengthy field goal. The only kicker I know in prep history that could easily nail this down is Anthony Tagano, the 2017 Hawk kicker. He's now at Rowan University in New Jersey. And now the Hawks are hoping that they can find light as they're going to kick it. They're going to bring out the kicking team. It is going to be around a 40-yard field goal. To be more accurate, a 39-yard field goal from the 29-yard line plus the end zone. Make it 39. A huge field goal for Chata. If he misses, St. John's College will be within 3. Chata's kick is up, and the field goal is good. A huge kick from Antonio Chata. He's hyped. The bench is hyped. And now St. John's College, their backs are against the wall. They're going to need 7 in this drive. And now if you're St. John's College, you need a touchdown this drive. If you get a field goal, you're still going to be down 1. And if you come up with a turnover on downs, the Hawks can basically milk the clock and call it game. So the number 3 ranked team in the nation, St. John's College, is going to have their backs against the wall for the first time. They have 2 timeouts left, so we're going to see how they approach them usually. And now in high school, not like the NFL, when you cross that first down marker, the clock stops. They have to wait to reset the chains, same as the college rule. A lot of Hawk students looking at Rutgers University, especially Keenan Nelson Jr. One of my family friends, Gianna Brown, looking at Rutgers University. Nevertheless, the kickoff from the 40-yard line. And if you're Antonio Chada, you're going to need a touchback here, because that'd be huge. If they return this in great field position, then it could be trouble for the Hawks. Chada's kick is pretty powerful. He put a boot on that one, and it's going to be out of the end zone. A touchback for the Hawks with 3:15 left, 1st and 10. And this is what Friday Night Lights is all about. 34-30. St. John's College has the ball down 4. And we're going to keep it here. And we're going to take, actually, we're going to see what happens here. The ball is spotted at the 20-yard line. And now quarterback Sol J. Mayava is going to see what he can do with this offense. He's going to look for his top target, Rakim Jarrett. And obviously his number 2, Caleb Coombs, which is not a bad number 2 whatsoever, has offers from Ohio State, Alabama. You name it, he most likely has an offer. Now the fridge, number 7, Antoine Littleton is in. He's got 3 to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to look for Jarrett, and that is a crucial tackle from number 18, Xavier Atkins. Huge tackle is going to get 5 yards on the play to bring him to the 25-yard line. And Atkins comes up with the tackle. Clock is still ticking. 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. Three minutes left to go in regulation. Maeva again is going to look to the far side. This time it's going to go to Bryce Butler, who picks up the first down, going to move the chains and stop the clock because he stepped out of bounds. And that's going to be one thing that's going to be huge for the Cadets. If they get out of bounds, they keep getting first downs. They're going to keep stopping the clock. However, you don't want to leave too much time for Ohio State commit Kyle McCord to drive down the field. And that was St. Joe's prep mistake last season, as Littleton gets tripped up by Liam Johnson as he flexes on Littleton. And that was a huge tackle, because if he doesn't get a shoestring tackle, Littleton might be off to the races. And we've seen the Fridge's speed before, and I don't think he'd be afraid to throw it off again. Clock is ticking, 2:29 left, no 2-minute warning in high school. And now Maeva under center, he's taking it in shotgun formation. He's going to look for Jarrett, who is wide open from the 50-yard line, 40 off to the far side into Hawk territory. He's still running, and a fumble. Keenan Nelson Jr. forced the fumble, and it's going to be Hawk ball. Keenan Nelson Jr. and Julian Talley, an unreal sequence of events for the Hawks. And now the far side of the field, the official call has not been made, but it looks like Rakim Jarrett marching off the sideline. We're going to look at the replay, and he definitely fumbled the football in the field, and number 19, David Watson, scooped it up. So that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Hawks. St. John's College has 2 timeouts left, so worst case scenario, you're going to call a timeout on the first 2 plays. But St. Joe's Prep can pretty much put this one in the bag unless they screw up somehow. A huge fumble. I think he just dropped the ball, honestly, but number 19, David Watson, a huge recovery before it went out of bounds, which was inches from. And now McCord is going to hand it off to Burrell. Burrell taking it to the left side. MJ Sherman misses the tackle. And it's going to be tackled what looks to be a cluster of players. And what a shift of momentum. As St. John's is going to take their first timeout with 2:03 left. But what a shift of momentum. And that'll be their second timeout. So they're going to have 1 timeout remaining after this. And now 2:03 left. St. John's is acting pretty calm. They'll most likely have around 2 minutes left with 3rd and 8. So if they can force the Hawks to punt, there'll still be a substantial amount of time. 2 minutes is a lot of time in high school football. As we saw last week in the Marietta, Georgia game, the Hawks only gave Marietta 1 minute and 14 seconds, and that was enough to drive down the field, score touchdown. Ricky White, 14 seconds left, And when they scored with 14 seconds left, the Hawks' souls were crushed, and Marietta, Georgia was having a party. But nevertheless, the Hawks are going to look to win their first game of 2019 and Coach Tim Roken's first career win as a head coach. And what a career win it would be against number 3 in the nation, St. John's College. Now McCord is going to take the snap, hand it off to Burrell. St. John's sends the house, but Burrell stays on his feet, stays on the first down, and that is going to be the game, ladies and gentlemen. 44-yard line, he is tackled, but there is just not enough time. The Hawks can milk out the clock, and that, unless a substantial mistake happens from the Hawks, that will do it here from New Brunswick, Rutgers University. And it looks like St. John's College is going to use their final timeout. As they do, St. John's College uses their final timeout with 1:51 left, and St. Joe's Prep is looking in phenomenal condition right now. Their second game of the season, a huge bounce-back potential win for the Hawks. And if you're just joining us very late in the game, St. Joe's Prep just forced a fumble. David Watson, a huge recovery as 5-star wide receiver committed to LSU, Rakim Jarrett, fumbled around the Hawk 25-yard line. Watson picked it up on the sideline, and then a big third down. Burrell busted up the gut, took it all the way for 11 yards and a huge first down. And all the Hawks have to do is milk that clock, and the game should be over. And the Hawks will go back to 17th and Girard with a record of 1-1 next week, facing IMG Academy at the location to be determined. First, it was rumored at Westchester, and then that was denied. And now it is rumored. And now it looks like the Hawks are going to hand it off to Burrell. Burrell taking it up the middle. He just cannot fumble, and it should be game over. 1:45 left, 40 seconds on the play clock each time. And now it'll be 2nd and 8. And if I'm doing my math correctly, they should be able to run out the clock with no time remaining, and St. Joe's Prep bouncing back. The Friday Night Light destruction last week turns into a huge upset as number 14 St. Joe's Prep will most likely defeat number 3 St. John's College, and that will boost their ranking phenomenally. Now their final third test is next week, September 13th at 7 p.m. against IMG Academy, the powerhouse from Florida, as Burrell takes it again and takes it all the way into cadet territory at the 49-yard line. So with a minute left, 40 seconds, 3rd and 2, the game is over if they just run the play clock perfectly fine. And the party on 17th and Girard will begin. Not that big of a party, but definitely in the locker room, they're going to be cheering. As even on the sideline right now, they got their hands up, they're ready to go. And St. Joe's Prep pulls up a huge upset as Burrell moves over to the 35-yard line just to make sure nothing happens. 30 seconds left to go. McCord kneels the ball, and that will do it. St. Joe's Prep records their first win of the season. Head coach Tim Roken picks up his first head coach win of his career, and the Hawks couldn't be happier. A huge win for the Hawks, as now their next test will be IMG Academy. But nevertheless, the Hawks knock off a number 3 team in the nation, St. John's College. The final from Rutgers University, New Brunswick, for St. Joe's Prep 34 and St. John's College 30. What a game from the Hawks. Friday Night Lights 2 weeks in a row. You can't ask for anything more. Obviously, next week the Hawks are going to be taking on number 7 in the nation, IMG Academy. So another huge test for the Hawks. And we'll see how they rebound off this win. They're going to have to get off their high horse to keep grinding in practice. And after IMG Academy, we kick it into league play, playoffs, and then the Hawks are going to try to go back-to-back like LeBron in 12 and 13 and try to claim that 2019 state championship that every Hawk player wants. Another win for the Hawks at Rutgers last season. They beat St. Peter's Prep off a thriller, off of an Anthony Lenahan interception. This year, they're going to do it off of a huge fumble recovery. And Casey Stevenson, the senior captain, is pumped. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. celebrating with them. Colby Burrell, unfortunately, limped off the field. unfortunate sight. If he's out for the IMG game, that's going to be a huge blow for the Hawks. But nevertheless, a victory for St. Joe's Prep is going to be huge for their season and their national rank. Obviously, next week they're going to play IMG Academy. The location is to be determined. Tomorrow, it will be here again. The triple header at 12 o'clock, at 3:30, and at 7 o'clock will round out the 3 games. Make sure to stay tuned to D1 Media Pro tomorrow for the triple header at the Rumble on the Raritan. Again, we want to thank Tom McGuire, who is the director of Rumble at the Raritan, for making everything happen at Rutgers University. And obviously, D1 Media Pro, the #1 live stream for elite high school sports. And that's going to do it from me at Rutgers University. I'm Tyler Conrad saying good night and go Hawks.